So sad. So sad.
No, it really is.
And then you hit up our producer, Sherm, and said, you know what, can I please come on the show and speak my piece? Let's start by saying, what exactly do you want to say? Let's start there.
So first of all, I mean, so I hit her up because I really needed a job. Again, I'm a model. I'm also a singer. I'm an actress. You know, I worked my way up to this. Like, this isn't something that happened overnight. So, you know, like I said, my grandmother, you know, I watched my grandmother struggle, you know what I'm saying, trying to take care of kids and, you know, things like that. And I raised a lot of my nieces and my nephews. And, you know, so when she sent the post, I'm like, well, you need help. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I can do. Like, so let me help you. So when I reached out to her, I'm just like, you know, what's up? Like, you know, these are my credentials. You know, I've been doing this for a few years. And it was just like, no, I'm not letting a pretty woman into my house. Like, just because I look good.
Well, to be clear, I did not even respond to the post. So let's be clear.
But you heard the show on Tuesday.
That's great.
I heard the shade.
So here's the thing. You are very beautiful.
You don't have to clap your hands.
You don't get to tell me what I get to do today. The two of y'all can kiss my ass. For real. Kiss my ass. The two of y'all have no idea. Sweetheart, I'm not gonna make this about you.
You're not gonna flip this on us because it is about her.
You can be quiet for a second.
Speak to her.
Because I'm talking.
Go ahead.
Okay? I'm not going to make this about you, baby girl, because this is not. But what I do with my household and what I choose to do with my household is nobody's concern.
Right.
And what I choose to bring up to my co-host and to the world, I did not use your name. I did not do anything.
Because you put it out there. So now that you put it out there, we have to address it.
And just to be clear, I never said it was you, and I never responded to you. So your ego made you think that you were the only pretty girl that slid in my DMs, sweetheart.
No, it's not just my ego. You know what I'm saying? And even if I'm not the only pretty girl, let me state on National Women's Day that I will speak up for all the pretty girls that stepped in your DMs because you feel like, no, you're not going to hire a pretty girl because of your insecurities. So let's get that straight this morning.
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm not calling spade a spade. You be calling spade a spade.
I'm not even going to address her because this isn't about her. This is about you and this is about you.
You're trying to make it about us.
You're going to be quiet and you're going to listen. On International Women's Day, I'm going to ask you to be quiet. This is what's going to happen. You do not ambush your co-host. You do not do that because one thing, I am not insecure, okay? I have been cheated on. I have been very open and vocal about my stuff. But I get to decide what happens in my household, okay? My daddy slept with a babysitter, so I know my situation. You're beautiful and that's great. You can be your motto, singing ass, do all that stuff. But you are not. I get to pick who is around my children and who is around my man. And no, you will not be.
Right, and that's understandable, but the comments that you made.
The comments that I made were
disrespectful.
No, they weren't. I said you're beautiful and you appear to be smart. That is complimenting you. I said, but I don't want you in my household. I get to decide what happens in my household.
So why don't you want me there is the real question.
I don't have to answer to you.
You big man.
I definitely don't have to answer now because you're ambushing me live on the radio. Sure. You better stop waving your hand like that because all of y'all, this is a setup and y'all ain't nothing. You lucky I can't swear on the radio. You lucky I can't swear on the radio because y'all ain't nothing. And on my life, this will be my last day of work with you ambushing that negative ass.
Now, hold on. So now, let me get this right. Let me get this right. I allowed you to talk. I've been quiet for now 5 minutes.
You allowed me to be set up. Yeah, you allowed me to be set up, Quicksilver.
So now, with that being said, this young lady, because now you're making this about Quicksilver 5. You're making this about us.
Like this ain't about us.
No, this is about us.
This is. I allowed you to talk, Danny.
You allowed me to talk. Thank you for allowing me to talk.
Now you're it's not about a sexist.
Thank you, Quicksilver.
Okay, now she's trying to be sarcastic.
No, because now I'm pissed.
Because in conversations you converse by going back and forth. If Danny only talks, it's no longer a conversation. It's now Danny being diplomatic and being diplomatic, and now you're being Danny, you're allowed to speak. Now Quicksilver in 5'9", and the young lady who's here, she's allowed to speak as well.
She's genuinely hurt.
So now,
no, I really am, and I feel some type of way because it's not just about me. Like I said, I'm trying to be the voice for all the pretty chicks, like I said, that stepped in your DMs. Like, I just think you jealous, like, for real.
Of what?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What am I jealous of?
Because you're pretty too, and you're hitting on another pretty young woman.
That's disrespectful.
Young woman.
How am I jealous?
I'm disrespectful.
Y'all gonna let a woman come in here talking about I'm insecure and I'm jealous? No.
Listen, because you're
No.
okay.
No, I'm not gonna listen to something who
But you had the opportunity when she wasn't here.
Are you out your
Can't talk at
damn
the same
mind?
time.
When she
Are you
wasn't
out of your
here,
damn
when she
mind?
wasn't here to defend herself,
Yes.
you wanted the smoke.
And simply, listen,
Now
hold on.
and then young boy
You
said
haven't
you
had
don't
that
want no
same
smoke.
energy
Right.
now that I'm
And
here.
this
I
is-
ain't had
listen,
that
hold
same
on,
energy
hold on,
now that I'm here.
Time out. We all can't talk at the same time.
Shut
And it's
the
not.
hell up.
No, Danny, you be quiet for 30
No,
seconds because I'm
no.
allowed you to talk.
No,
So at
because
this
you
point,
also allowed
the
me to
young
be
lady,
ambushed.
the young lady simply said this. And this is what we say on the air. And when all the call, I'm going to make this very clear. This is not Quick and 5 ambushing Danny. This is to all the callers.
Okay.
So let me say this again so I can make sure I'm verbatim. This is not just about Danny. So Danny can't say again. Quicksilver was about Danny. Listen, this is not just about Danny Starr. I know
It's
Danny
not.
Starr. Hold on. She wants to make it about Danny Starr. The conversation is more about discrimination. Why would we allow us as a
Why?
people? Because men
Why?
as well, hold on, men as well.
Why?
Listen, men as well were calling and saying, you should not hire her simply because she's pretty. And now, if you dangle a steak, as the metaphor that Dan used,
Yes.
dangle a steak around a lion, they might eat it. Guess what?
What?
How many of the pretty girls did not get a job simply because somebody said, you know what?
Exactly.
I'm not going to.
Working in
Dan,
office?
I let you talk.
Oh, my
I'm not going to hire this pretty female simply because she's pretty. But then somebody will say, pretty girls have all these privileges. They automatically get jobs. But she's saying, I could not get a job simply because, not because I'm
It's Friday Eve,
underqualified.
but you giving them that church.
Because I'm pretty, and because I'm pretty,
Listen,
you're saying now you're not going to give me a shot?
Being a pretty girl walking to an office building, cool. Being a pretty girl walking into any establishment and organization, cool. I don't have to allow anyone in my home who I do not want in my home.
And this is not
That's
just about your
period.
home. This is about discrimination.